Twins Cup, the final race of the day at Barber Motorsports Park. They're checking things out. This 2.25 mile circuit just outside of Birmingham, Alabama. It's the MotoAmerica Twins Cup race stop number 7. A dual race weekend for these guys. So get that second opportunity today to prove they are the best. See the Cooper family up there checking out their boy ready to hit the track, or excuse me, Cooper McDonald's family ready to see what's going on. And I see something going on. I see Rocco Landers, the Twins Cup points leader, up there, but I also thought I saw something awfully weird looking in the background. Caleb DeCarroll, after that big crash yesterday, after posting the fastest ever lap around this facility, went down hard. He's got that bike up and going with a little duct tape and super glue. I'm Robbie Floyd, joined by Roger Hayden, and I have no idea who that is, Roger, but he lost a bet, I'm assuming.
Guarantee it.
I think he was over there with Chris Parrish's crew, so I know somebody did something wrong or something did something awfully right. But I'd like to welcome everybody here to the Twins Cup. Rocco Landers takes a look over there as the winner of the last round, the last several rounds. I mean, it's been since stop number 4 since he's lost a race. The only guy really to beat him this year has been Caleb DeCarroll. And with Caleb turning that lap time yesterday, he kind of made notice even to Rocco. We haven't seen anybody really and beat it by a significant amount and closed in once again.
And was closing in, and we also think that maybe Rocco was having some tire wear issues.
Did you say Roscoe? Are you thinking about that barbecue again?
No. But you could see the concern on his face after the race about the tire issue, and we've seen it all weekend. He's on the Twins bike. He's kind of shredding the tire a little quick. So the thing, this race, he might not push so hard so early and abuse the tire so it doesn't go off so quick. But also, Caleb DeCarroll doesn't want to let Rocco get such a big lead where he has to push that hard again to catch up.
Hayden Schultz wants to get up there in the mix early on as well, so something to look for. I know that's exactly what you're talking about with the tire going off. I was talking to Caleb DeCarroll after the race yesterday in his pits when he come off again, because we didn't know how he was physically, and I think he's doing all right on that end. He said he was really sore, but he said, Rocco says, how was your tire? He said, mine was gone. He said, if you would have caught up to me, you would have beat me. He was saying that. Now, again, and Rocco is trying to get into his head. I promise you that, because he will tell you that he's trying to get into his head and the things that he says to him. But you look at the 202 points, Caleb DeCarroll lost a ton. He could not afford that.
Definitely, getting 0 points. Rocco getting 25 definitely stretched it out to, almost a 2-race lead.
Yeah, and he was trying to stay within one race because Rocco cannot make the last race at Laguna Seca. So Caleb DeCarroll needs to find a win. He needs some unfortunate circumstances to arise for Rocco Landers. But watch out for Hayden Schultz, 30 championship points, looking for his first victory as well. Been impressed by the 259, Toby Komsuk also as well, another rider in the mix. We take a look at our starting grid. This is how they'll line up the same way they lined up yesterday. Joe Blasius in the mix this weekend as well on a guest ride. Jackson Blackman, we saw how fast he was yesterday as well. Cooper McDonald in there. Daniel Adams now back with us in 2020. Max Johnson, I think, finishes inside the top 10 on day 1. Chris Bays taking some points in that 15th spot yesterday on the R-Bomb Racing entry. Dr. Carl Augustin there, and Cliff Ramsdale on row 9. So that's the way they'll line up on the grid. It is a left-hand first turn, downhill left-hand first turn. Rocco Landers will start on that outside, and Caleb says he can manage the tires better, and he felt like he was in a good position if he could have got up there.
Yesterday, Caleb got a really good start, but he broke way too early for turn 1. So I think if he gets that jump again today, he's not going to make that mistake and let Rocco rat around the outside of him.
We also saw the first time in a long time Jackson Blackman on the Robum Engineering Suzuki on the 3rd place spot of the podium. There's Rocco Landers, the 97, trying to win his 2nd championship this year. The lights go out, and a great launch by Landers. Looks like the Yamahas trying to tuck in just behind. The Yamaha of Caleb DeCarroll, Hayden Schultz, the Suzuki's Komsuk and Blasius.
Rocco a little wide into 2.
That's all right. He had enough of an advantage that wasn't going to cost him. And look at that little gap. I mean, that's a good start.
That's just what Rocco does every single race, even in the Junior Cup. He can get up to race pace. And look at Caleb. You can already see pushing hard, not wanting Rocco to get away.
And Rocco getting a little loose, too, mid-turn. Oh, and Caleb almost got bucked off. Caleb said yesterday that the wind was a factor going into the 5, and he had to actually back up those braking points, unlike the earlier in the week. And we've seen it before in the other races. I mean, you got a big tailwind going into 5.
And also the wind's a little stronger this afternoon too, so you're going to have to look, going in turn 5, move your brake markers, and then also after this chicane here, that next left.
I'd like to welcome in Jamie Howe. Jamie, how are things looking down trackside?
Things are still sunny and beautiful down trackside. Track temperature right now 92 degrees. You mentioned that wind in turn 5. That's been a talking point in all of the races so far this afternoon. The guys have to be a little careful down there going into the spider web. Talking to Caleb DeCarroll at our lunch break today, he wants this one so bad. He feels like he really owes it to the team and everybody that got that bike back together, everybody that offers them all of the support, but he has a lot of respect for Rocco, so he's not going to do anything, obviously, to jeopardize anything for anybody else, but he wants to get this win today.
Exactly right. They had some work to do to get that bike back and going. He threw it down really hard.
That was a big crash. Going in there, that's a really fast part.
And the second time he'd crashed over there this week.
Going into turn 14, the rear end just came around and threw him off the high side. And you could tell that's one of those crashes that, whenever you go down there, I've crashed there before, and it's a painful one.
A second advantage for Rocco Landers. You see how much harder Caleb DeCarroll charges into that turn. You want to be smooth, but you can't be so smooth that you back off too early going down that hill. There's a lot of time to be lost and gained in that one turn.
And we've seen previous races too, some guys trying to make up too much going into turn 5 and losing the front end because you see Caleb turning in a little bit early.
Caleb also coming in fairly steep there as well. There's the 259 of Hayden Schultz just behind him. Schultz a good run yesterday, good enough for second. The Hayden Schultz Racing Yamaha.
Yeah, that was Caleb's crash right there on the left yesterday. You can see when he gets up, that was one that shook him up a little bit. And even the bike took a nice tumble. So it's good to see his crew get all that fixed back up and back out for race 2.
Well, 1833 CJ knows body work because they had to put some duct tape on that, but and pink duct tape at that. And she might not be the prettiest. You see all the damage on the side, but she's still pretty darn fast. Good enough for second right now. Purple sectors. We talk about overall fastest time. It looked like about 3 of those were purple sectors for Rocco Landers. Sectors 2 and 3 overall fastest for Caleb DeCarroll. So kind of a blend, kind of what we saw yesterday. And Rocco said about lap 5, his tires were done. If Caleb can keep staying right there, I think he'll be all right.
It's already a completely different race than it was yesterday because, Hayden Schultz is not letting these guys get away. He's over a second faster than he was yesterday, and you can kind of see we had a big group. These guys were in a big group yesterday, and some of them were going a lot faster today, like Jackson Blackman was in that group in front of him yesterday, but they're going a lot faster today.
And you see Joe Blasius in there. Good to see him inside that top 5. He's currently for Toby Komsuk. We've seen him riding up in the front on the Coppolis built Robham Engineering Suzuki, and those are both fast Suzukis. Suzuki leading this one in Landers, a couple of Yamahas, and then the pair of Suzukis of Blasius and Komsuk. Komsuk on the 27. Autovest Suzuki of Blasius just in front, number 24.
Rocco is, Caleb has definitely kept Rocco in a lot closer sights today, only 1.3 seconds. Yesterday, what was it? It was almost 3 seconds.
Yeah, maybe in there. When it started closing in, it was like a second and a half, then 0.9, and then 0.5, and then down. Cooper McDonald looking better and racier this week. Currently 6th on track right now. Jackson Blackman in the mix. Blackman on the 18. Oh, he's angry. He's like, dang it, I left that inside open. He just didn't need him to be there. Look just behind former champion of this class, Chris Parrish. 128 of Chris Parrish out of Old Hickory, Tennessee. AP Moto Arts, Ghetto Custom Suzuki. Yes, Suzuki, not the Yamaha he was on at the start of the year. I believe he crashed that bike, in Atlanta, big time.
Chris Parrish actually won Twins race last year.
Yep.
Here.
So he likes the track.
Caleb just starting to slip back a little bit. Now it's already back to 1.8, but that last lap, Rocco Landers 30.4, that's the track record.
Unbelievable. Seems like every class we've broken records this weekend. A good run here for Cooper McDonald, Jackson Blackman, Chris Parrish. There's 6, 7, and 8. You see the pair just in front of them off in the picture. That's still Blasius and Comstock. Cooper McDonald, he's actually got the same motor builder as Caleb DeCarroll, that being Cooper's dad. So he's got a fast motor, but he's battling a three-way battle for 6th spot. There's that race for 4, excuse me. 1, 2, and 3 in the picture. 4 sneaking in, 5 as well, all on the same straightaway. So got to keep them in earshot. And you looked at the last time around, 2.7. So there's about that 3-second differential. Lap 5. This is it. This is about where we were yesterday.
But Rocco's also going a lot faster today. Yesterday, he wasn't so far into the 30s.
Which could be worse. I mean, if you push on a tire that didn't last on day 1, what makes you think it's going to last on day 2? Other than the track temperature's warmer, that tire should hold up a little bit better, right?
And also, they could have made changes overnight, went out in the warm-up today with maybe a used tire and just seeing if they could get a little more, longevity out of the rear tire.
See Caleb DeCarroll still pushing 2.7 back that time as he goes near the museum. Sweeping right-hand turn now towards that back straightaway. Okay, we got a little pressure on him this morning when he wakes up and sees Garrett Gerloff, one of his best buddies, on the podium at the World Superbike race this morning. So you got to do it too.
He's getting a little pressure too this race from Hayden Schultz.
Yeah, Hayden Schultz not too far, 1.8 behind him, and somebody going down, the 270 Ryan Snooks. Is it Snooks we saw go down yesterday as well? Oh, right. He's the one that actually, I think, did that Yahoo moment over near 10, like straight across that some of the riders were telling me about yesterday.
Right there in the museum turn. Right off that back little straightaway right into turn 8, and you can see there's a little bit of debris over the curb and the 9.
We saw that bring out a red flag last year with Bobby Fong in the Super Sport class. He brought out, a lot more than that. Let's put it that way. Not too bad for Toby Comstock, still battling it out for Joe Blasius, taking over 4th now. That whole crew of Matt Spicer, Eric Vallarta, Mike Coppolis, Russell Mascar, they've all been putting their heads together. A 3-rider effort. It's good when you can kind of throw it back and forth between himself, Jackson Blackman, Carl Price. There's Jackson Blackman into the picture. Now Blackman in that 3-way battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Parrish looking good, having to miss a few races after Atlanta, after literally tearing that bike up, the Yamaha, and you see the new bodywork.
It's going to be interesting to see now, since Jackson's in front of this group, if he can do the lap times that he did yesterday, because yesterday, he was down in the 32s, and today he's into the, just into the 33s.
And what's ridiculous, you still look at Rocco Landers, who's out in front, best time of 1:30.49. I mean, is it even possible? I mean, he can even get faster than that. Who knows? Probably won't do it today, but the kid is just unbelievable. Jamie, you have more on Rocco?
Well, you're talking about the changes they could have possibly made overnight. They did do that just in terms of the spring settings and the ride heights to try to get better tire life and make it to the end of this race, should he have to push for the duration.
15-year-old out of Oregon is really impressive, and I mentioned trying to win a second championship in 2020. He's already won the Licomali Junior Cup Championship. I'm sorry if you haven't watched that yet, but I'm just telling you right now, the kid was fast, and he did exactly what he was expected to do, and that was race off to a Licomali Junior win. Hasn't lost since the first 3 rounds, and the margin of victory has been pretty darn impressive. Also impressed me is Joe Blasius. I mean, for a part-time rider, just popping in and giving it to Toby Comstock right now.
He's definitely hanging in there pretty tough. These guys are swapping positions quite a bit. And you can see they're trying to reel in that group in front of them. They can see that podium spot right there in front of them.
Hayden Schultz definitely can back there in 3rd, just in front of this pair. Schultz, that last time around, only a 1.5 seconds behind, where DeCarroll's dropped off over 5 seconds. Hayden Schultz actually closing in just a bit.
Yesterday during this time is whenever Caleb started getting a lot faster and reeling in Rocco. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's from the crash yesterday or doesn't have the same feeling that he had yesterday, but now this time he's starting to go slower.
Back and forth and coming down the front straightaway one more time. There's the race for second. You don't even see Rocco in the shot, do you, down the front straightaway? It's now over 6 seconds. So the 2:59. Now you got to pick your battles. Like I've said in other classes, there's only 5 laps to go. Rocco's gone. The only way Rocco's not going to win is a mechanical or he throws it away. Pick your battles. If you're Hayden Schultz, a win is now to get by Caleb DeCarroll.
And Caleb doesn't want to give up the points.
No.
It's a big difference between, first and second is 5, first and third is 9 points.
Absolutely. Rocco's up there. I don't know. I don't know how Caleb could have closed in that much, but I mean, I can actually see him in the picture here. But again,
it was a lapper.
Oh, it is there. I was like, Rocco, he's going to have to throw it away, or it's going to have to be mechanical difficulties for him, and I just don't see that happening. And Rocco Leonard's also not with the same sponsors that he would normally have with Billy Gamali Jr. He's sponsored by SportBikeTrackGear.com and RoadRacingWorld.com Suzuki. It's not the Twins Cup Championship bike from last year either, even though Alex Dumas, who's a Stock 1000 competitor who's injured right now, won that championship. That's not the same bike.
Same team built it, though, so it has to be pretty close. Teague Hobbs actually has Alex Dumas' bike from last year, and we've seen him get his first podium last week. But, the M14 builds great bikes, and you can see it.
Oh, here we go. That's getting hung out. That lap rider almost cost him. Go ahead, finish it.
Yeah, those guys you can tell they built another great bike because Rocco hasn't had any problems all year.
Not since what MotoAmerica. It looked like that Caleb DeCarroll might have actually had a faster machine. I think they went back to the dyno. I think they had to find some more speed somewhere.
I also just think that's the Yamaha strong point, right? We knew it was always a little faster in a straightaway, but also I think you're right, too. I think they went back and found a little more power.
Jackson Blackman's not battling for the podium spot, but he is trying to hold on for 6 right now. 6th, 7th, and 8th. You could throw a blanket over him. Cooper McDonald looking for his best finish of the year, too. He's been a podium finisher, did back in Utah last year. This year, race number 3, his best finish, a 5th place. Currently, this is trying to get into 6th, and that's McDonald, the 3rd one in your picture.
Chris Parrish just got around the outside of him on the brakes into 5, but you can see that kind of ruined Chris's drive, and Cooper gets a really good drive out of 5.
Yeah, his Yamaha with a pretty strong motor. His dad, Sam, building that engine. Good drive out of here. Might be the case, too, where he just needs to be the second man in that picture where he feels like he might be able to drive around Jackson Blackman when it comes time to come down the front straightaway, too, on that last lap. I say do it taking the white flag. Don't wait for the checkered.
Also, too, you get to be aggressive with the guys that they're coming up on. Don't let Jackson get by one of them and you get hung up because he could pull away for a couple seconds.
Whoa.
You see that?
Whoa. And you've got to be decisive.
It cost him a spot. Not only did he lose to Jackson, but also he lost a spot to Parrish.
Yeah, you have to be decisive, and sometimes you don't know what you're getting into. I mean, you're coming into guys that are literally a lap down after 9 laps. So big differences in speed between the two. Now you got to regroup again if you're Cooper McDonald. 3 laps to go. And Parrish is kind of his eye-opening moment going, I can do this. I can get by Blackman.
They've reeled him back in pretty quick.
Joe Blazey's taking that inside line. He was just trying to get it shut down. It didn't look good there for a moment. That's the race for 4th place.
That's also a place where we talk about with the wind pushing the guys in a little bit.
Absolutely. Now going into that headwind, going towards the museum, a lap rider just in front. Toby Komsuk, the 27, currently in 4th place. In championship points, Komsuk in 4th place. Behind Hayden Schultz, who's the rider in front of him on the track as well. Komsuk has been on a roll of late of 5th place finishes. He's trying to finish 4th here today because he's 1, 2, 3, 4 5th place finishes in a row.
He's kind of been in that last podium spot battle, but always kind of toward the end of the races kind of loses that a little bit. So it's good to see him today kind of winning that battle that he's been in at the beginning of the race and still pulling away at the end.
No doubt. Yeah, I think it's 6 races in a row he's been 5th or better. He has finished 4th back at stop number 5. Or 4, excuse me. Hayden Schultz still back there in 3rd. I don't know. He's running out of laps. Only got about a lap and a half left. And you still see that back end get a little loose of Caleb DeCarroll, and you see the smooth riding of the 259. I don't think he has his number today.
I don't think so either, especially with only 2 laps to go. To make up 1.8 seconds is going to be huge, especially when he has, a 2-second gap to the guys behind him.
Yeah, yesterday it was a good push. He did finish 2nd, but then again, Caleb took himself out of that picture. I think he's just a few tenths off, and they just keep adding up. Even that last lap, he lost 4 tenths to Caleb DeCarroll. But again, another podium finish. He, I'm sure his objective is to finish on the podium at the end of the year. Currently a 3rd in the championship and 3rd on the racetrack. Also want to point out the 259 Hayden Schultz Racing Yamaha out of Fayetteville, Arkansas. He has a day job. He's got to get probably back out there and run the shop and then get ready for Indianapolis.
He mentioned it yesterday how his managers, doing extra work, letting him get away to go racing. White flag out,
1 more to go here in the Twins Cup. Race number 2, final race of the day. Rocco Landers out in front by 6.8 seconds over Caleb DeCarroll. SportBikeTrackGear.com, RoadRacingWorld.com, Suzuki SV650. And this is not a race chassis. These are more recreational bikes that they are turning into race bikes. And there's a lot of electronics, a lot of things on that bike to help make it go fast, though. But not purpose-built to be a race chassis. And Rocco Landers also in that Red Bull Rookies Cup where, he's riding the little bikes that are built for that, and it's just got to be a totally different feel for him. But this is a guy who can literally ride anything.
And for him, what the difficult thing is he jumps from one race, from one bike to another.
Yeah.
He doesn't get a practice, to get on and get, a couple laps to get used to this bike before the race. He comes right from the Junior Cup. The next time he's, gets to go racing is on a bike that's totally different, heavier, and more horsepower.
What would you do if you're Rocco Landers? Would you be searching for maybe even a super sport ride for the next time in Indianapolis when we do get to see him? He needs to do something. He needs to get challenged, don't you think?
Well, I think he just needs to, he's already got 1 title, so let's focus on this one. This one was your goal. But it would be good for him, I think, to
see what he can do
in a class where, get really pushed, maybe not get the win on the weekend, but he's going to have to ride hard to keep up.
What a run by Rocco Landers. He just keeps on winning. 6 race wins in a row for Rocco Landers in the Twins Cup. Second's going to go to Caleb DeCarroll. Hayden Schultz rounding out that podium. Komsuk holds on again for his best finish of the year in 4th.
Let's see if Cooper can get Jackson. Good run out of the last corner.
There's that horsepower, the Yamaha. Sam McDonald going to give his boy a bullet in that thing, and he does. Comes across in 6th ahead of Jackson Blackman and Chris Parrish. And you know he had the engine, but he had to set him up coming into that last lap.
Oh, he did that last corner. You can kind of tell. Looked like Jackson might have blocked the inside a little bit, and Cooper just got a good run.
Parrish was hoping that they would make a wall for him and he could slingshot by, but the differential between Cooper McDonald, Jackson Blackman, 0.02 of a second. Chris Lilligard in the top 10, as well as Ryan Max Johnson from Texas, the 196. Sam Weiss, another strong finish for him. Looks like Daniel Adams able to take some more points, or 2 points in 14th place. And the last points paying position, Corey Hart, the 136 Suzuki, in 15th.
I don't think Rocco's lost a race since we left Road America.
1, 2, 3, 4 on my sheet. It doesn't. So yeah, 4th race, Atlanta. Remember, he fell down. Remember Atlanta? He was in second. Caleb was going to beat him. He went down. That's Hayden Schultz's first second place of the year. But yeah, since Atlanta that one day, no. Really good run for Rocco. A really good weekend altogether, right? I mean,
good last couple weekends.
Undefeated, yeah. And coming off of New Jersey Motorsports Park, 4 for 4. Can't even get that kind of deal at Arby's. How about that for my dad joke?
Yeah.
You like that one?
Dad joke of the day.
Yeah. Congratulations to Rocco. 2 friends off the track and competitors on, but he just had their number. And I can tell you that Caleb Carroll at the end of the day is going to say he just didn't have enough for him. His 6-second advantage for Rocco as you take a look at the finishing results. Again, everything I say is officially unofficial. Joe Blasius, really a strong run, trying to put the fight on for 4th, but Toby Comsook, again, you race week in, week out. You know, you still got that feel if you're Comsook. His teammate back there, Jackson Blackman, only finishes 7th today, where he was up there on the podium yesterday.
It shows you that changes can either help or hurt. You know?
Absolutely right. And they thought they found something there in that team, and they found it for Toby. I don't know what Kathy Price has on the dinner menu for the day. She's been going Cajun this week. I think bratwurst is on the menu. Look at Caleb. He's looking down and he's trying to figure out where he can get more speed, more grip, more turning, something out of that Yamaha.
Also, you can just tell he's moving gingerly. He's hurting because of that crash. So I mean, maybe it started bothering him once the race got going after a couple laps. But it was good to see him out there and tough it out. And you know, it's always kind of difficult to come back after a big crash.
Katie 51 out of Minnesota, lives in Texas. Boy, an 833 CJ Nose accident and injury law. And boy, he had an accident yesterday and some injury as well. Pin it, Rocco Landers. Got his white HJC helmet, looking to maybe throw in the Gold Flake HJC Champions helmet. Gets his Red Bull water to sip on here to finish off another perfect weekend, Jamie.
And it's 4 race wins. He got the Junior Cup Championship locked up, led every single lap of the race. Rocco, for you as the rider, where does that determination come from?
I mean, it's all natural, I guess. I just wanted to win, so. I was sorry Caleb had that crash yesterday, and I knew he was gonna come back stronger today and try to push harder. But I just tried to get as good of a start, as good of a race as possible. Even the first lap, I tried to get as big of a gap as I could on the first lap. So, dude, I'm so stoked. That's great. I'm really happy after winning the championship in Junior Cup today. I'm sorry, NJMP, but I might have a new favorite track today. But, I mean, I got to give the biggest shout-out to Brian Van with SportBikeTrackGear.com, who's here right now. Him and John Ulrich and Chris Ulrich with Road Racing World have been helping me out all year so much. It's an honor to ride with them and work with them, and I couldn't be more happy. I couldn't do it without Mythos, HJC, Dr. Farr Racing, DP Brakes, Barry wrestled the KFG suspension god, and everyone else who helps me.
We have a couple of weeks off before we head to Indianapolis. If you win the race there, you'll lock up the Twins Cup Championship as well. What would that mean to you at just 15 years old?
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool. Congratulations to our race winner, Rocco Landers.
Sound like a little Spicoli moment there. Yeah, that'll be pretty cool.
The impressive thing too, this deal for him to race this only came together almost like a week before the season.
We weren't expecting it. He wasn't expecting it. He was expected to be in Europe, but COVID kind of messed things up. Caleb DeCarroll had a rough day yesterday, but he still finishes on the box today.
Yes, Caleb was able to turn that disappointment of the race yesterday into a second place finish today. What sort of redemption is that for you?
Yeah, you know, we've had 2 crashes this weekend, so I got to give a huge thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for keeping me safe. It's been a little bit of a rough weekend, but overall I was just trying to push as hard as I could, and my 1833 CJ Nose Roaring Toys Yamaha MT-07 was working awesome out there, and Dunlop tires were hooking up great. I had one little moment at the beginning there, and anyways, just had a bunch of fun out here. I absolutely love the facility out here at Barber Motorsports Park. It's an epic track every time we get to come here. Facility is amazing, obviously. If you fans haven't checked out the museum yet, I would make your way over there. There's some pretty amazing stuff in there. But yeah, thank you to all the fans for coming out and watching, and also watching online. And yeah, I got to give a huge thank you to Mass, Bell, the Center for Plastic Surgery, and everybody who's been helping us out. Thank you guys so much, and thank you to everybody who came over last night and helped me mangle this thing back together so we could get out there and send it today. Thank you guys so much. There was a lot of people who came over, helped give us parts, helped beat things back together, and we made it happen for today, so I can't thank you guys enough for getting me back on track.
It's a great community. Second place finisher, Caleb DeCarroll.
And after my own heart and my dad's heart, man, just some super glue, some pink tape, throw that thing back together. And I forgot about that uh-oh moment. Remember that? He almost got chucked off with that first lap. Let's go down to Jamie Hayden Schultz. Another strong run for him.
And Hayden Schultz was the only one of the top 3 riders to improve his overall lap pace today, but you didn't have enough to make any passes. What more do you think you needed?
You know, it was a really big game changer from yesterday was being able to get a good start. So got a not so great start yesterday, found myself in 4th and got caught in a battle. Today I was able to get a better start off the line, and then tried to latch onto these guys, but they're riding so well. Props to Rocco for just being on it all weekend, and also for Caleb for bouncing back after that crash yesterday. It takes a lot to get back on the saddle and go as fast as he did, and I did my best to try and run him down. I was starting to make some headway in that gap there in the middle of the race, and then just had some things. I just couldn't get it done. Couldn't quite close the gap towards the end, and he ended up getting away. So, but with that said, we did go faster during the race, which I'm really stoked about that we finally made some improvements. I think a lot of the things holding myself back was myself as a rider, so I worked really hard last night just trying to find some places that I could improve, and I think we got that done. I'm still not satisfied. I'm hoping for a little bit more, but the team gave me a great bike today. Gene Bertram and the guys at Olin's have been really working hard to close that gap to the front, and while we weren't right there, we definitely were closer than we were yesterday, so I can't be upset about that. I'm really excited to go to Indianapolis. It's kind of our home race for the team, so I'm looking for a really good result there and see if we can't put this thing further up on the box. But just shout out to all my sponsors that have helped me get here, because I couldn't do it without them. Law Tigers, Britnum Construction, Cycle Gear. Shout out to Jeff Green at Blood Lubricants. He's been a big supporter of mine in this program as well. Yeah, it's a great race, but I'm still hungry for more. So I'm going to go back and train hard over these next 3 weeks and see if we can come to Indianapolis swinging.
And it was a double podium weekend for Hayden Schultz. Nice job.
Yeah, and great job by Jamie pointing out, having that faster time. 1.3 seconds faster than he did yesterday. That's an improvement.
That's why qualifying good and getting a good start is so important. Yesterday, he got caught up in that battle. We talk about it all the time, being caught up in the battle and going slower.
Good slip of the clutch. Great start by Rocco Landers, Caleb DeCarroll, Hayden Schultz. That's the way they would finish, but I mean, you had to get that good start. Joe Blazey's probably one of the best starts of the bunch. Yeah,
I got a great start, and these two battled it out the whole race for 4th and 5th until Toby kind of pulled away. I bet this lapper was a little scared, being in the sandwich there.
Got one on the inside, got one on the outside, coming through. And Rocco's the first one to do it, so you can imagine what they were thinking. The first guy that comes through is Rocco Landers, just blistered through him on the Suzuki. Schultz a good run, but yeah, no one's up to Rocco's pace. The only guy to run in the 130s. He does a 130.492, and yes, that's another track record in the Twins Cup for Rocco Landers. There's your point standings. Oh man, he's right there at that 50 mark, and that's what he needs to win the championship.
Yeah, so he's going to go to Indy, try to get a couple more wins, or at least beat Caleb, and try to leave there with leave Indy with a 50-point lead at least.
He leave Indy with a 25-point lead. He's going to win, right? I think it's only one race at Laguna Seca, I believe, for the Twins. But man, what a weekend for Rocco, like many weekends we've seen for Rocco. 4 for 4. Congratulations to Landers. Well, we had 5 races today, and Rocco Landers winning 40% of those. It all begins with getting a good start, but what an excellent finish for him. On behalf of Roger Hayden, Jamie Howe, I'm Robbie Floyd. Thanks for watching. We'll see everybody in Indianapolis next time.